It was like when Jaxblade Fitness flirts with white women, and it was wake me up inside, I can't wake up. Joke. Name's Tyrone. How you doing in this black guy talking to this white girl on the pool? Does it remind you of a stupid story I told him? And now I just remember. I do love that song.
Jordan, you are the king. Take us to your palace.
We the Lion King is coming out this week, but it looks just like a nature documentary. Okay, I was just seeing if I could do that. All right, good morning, y'all. Yeah, good morning, y'all. Welcome to the Weird Flex.
Hey, but okay podcast. There it is. The Lions we're eating all of our inspiration, but now we have it back. Yes, welcome to the Weird Flex, but okay podcast. We are your comedy weebs, workouts, and advice podcast where we answer your questions. If you would like to submit a question, please email us at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com. And the music that you've heard in every episode is by What's My Name on Instagram and Soundcloud.
I thought it was by the Lion King.
Wow. You are the Lion King.
Yeah, you're right. Because I always lie.
Right. Why the fuck you lying?
Oh my God.
Lying.
My name is not Mufasa, so why are you lying?
Well.
No matter what you say and what you do. I love that song. That's such a great song.
I'd rather be with you.
That's
Fuck
a
these
good
other bitches. I'll be right by your side till 2005.
Hello. All right, yeah,
Dude,
all right.
that was
yeah,
such
speaking
a
of which,
jam.
he's in The Lion King.
I know. They've got a pretty good voice cast for this live action movie.
Live action? Quote unquote live action.
I have to tell you. Years ago, which I guess is like 2 years ago, whenever they first when there was like a Variety news article or whatever about they're doing a live action Lion King, here's the cast, and at first my first thought when it showed like the cast list and it said live action, my first thought didn't go to like CGI and all that stuff. I legitimately was like, oh my God, wait, is Donald Glover just gonna wear a lion costume? Like, is he just gonna be literally on the screen just as himself, but like in makeup? Like, how is this live action? Like, because I hadn't seen anything about like, yes, it's going to be CGI, which maybe it said it in the article and I was a bad person and didn't read the article. Mm-hmm. And I just like was looking at the words live action and then I saw cast and I looked at all of them. And at first I was like, is this like a Broadway musical? Like, I'm confused at the wording here. Later it was revealed to technically be animation. So I was like, oh, okay. But honestly, I would love to be in a world where Donald Glover's just in a lion costume running around the jungle.
But you know that whole thing, like live, because like some people are so nitty gritty. Because I remember I was at a party with like a friend, and my friend Maya was talking about like, oh yeah, like the new live action Lion King. It's like actually it's CGI animation, and it was just like the way they brought it out. It was just like, well, fuck you. It was like, oh yeah, I really want to say hyper realistic CGI. If I say the live action Lion King. Like, okay, even though it's technically animation, we know it's animation, don't be that one person who's like, well, actually, you're an idiot if you think it's just like, all right, I apologize. I just said live action just to differentiate them really quickly.
It just kind of sucks because, like, I understand both perspectives. And yes, I don't think you should be that person and, like, be a dick about it. But, like, choked. I also think that the fact that they framed it as live action is just very... It makes me sad that they did that.
You know what you can do? If you took this movie, you could go back to like the 80s and show it to people and be like, yo, man, I got a horrible thing to tell you. Back in 2000, the lions gained sentience and shit.
Oh, yeah, these are actors, man. These are real lions.
Actors. Like, there's so many movies you can do that with where the CGI is... Like Jurassic Park. Do you imagine going back to like the 1800s with Jurassic Park footage? Just like showing them like, oh my god, like what is this? Or like that Owls That Go Hool movie where the owls were CGI, but it was like, what is this? Like the owls, they got armed and they're attacking people now, and it's just like, what? How do we stop this? You can't. I just want to.
You can't, man. It's gonna happen. We're here to warn you. Well, what should we do? Well, if you give me $50.
Yeah, exactly. Though I can't time travel because of my complexion. So
yeah, it's true.
I can only
that's
go
the
back
only
a
thing
certain
holding
time.
you back.
Yeah. I can only go back a certain amount of time. Actually, I don't want to. If I could time travel, I would never want to go back past the day I was born.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
past any year.
I also would not like to time travel. Women did not have a really good end of the stick as well. Granted, we definitely had a lot more privileges, but it was like still a very shitty situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like time traveling back, like that's only good for white men. I mean, it's true. Like unless you make it into like the Borgasea or whatever it's called, like the Borgas.
And then what if you step on like a butterfly and that causes an earthquake?
Ah,
and all
shit,
that
you're
crap?
right.
Yeah, you don't want that crap to happen.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I'm out.
I don't want.
But anyway, Jordan, what have you been up to?
I have been working on videos. I've been working on my body. I'm trying to get scary abs because I want abs where like it just looks like you're chiseled.
He wants
out of
hella
marble.
pony abs.
Oh yeah, exactly. I want him just like, oh hello pony, like, it's gonna be so awesome. I just want the abs carved out of marble. So I've been drinking 2 gallons of water a day, losing all my water weight. My skin's looking tight. So 2 weeks from now, I should have some nice toned belly buttons for the con we're going to, so it's just fun. And you're actually going because we have everything printed out. So yes guys, it's official. I will be at BronyCon. Da 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 da. Horse con. She's going to the
con.
She's gonna see us all care.
I've been thinking about like if I want to do like a costume thing, and I think I've said it on the pod before, but I'm just like, I don't know what I do because I don't want to put any money into like getting new stuff. So I've been looking through my wigs, just like, what could I do? But then I'm also like, I don't want to wear a wig.
You can literally just get like what the people do at BronyCon conventions is the easiest cosplay: ears and wings. Like they sell them. They just give you pony ears and wings. Like that's it. Like,
but I want to see if I can make something with what I already have. Like I want to see if I can closet do something.
You can be like Saber Spark and glue a thing to your head.
Oh my god!
The Alicorn princess.
I might just do like some cool makeup or something. Like I might just do that because part of me also is just kind of like I want to be comfortable. I'm just here to hang out, have a good time, and so there's a part of that too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'll probably just do that because I was watching an episode of the ponies the other day, and Rarity, like she's not my favorite pony anymore. I will say that, but really? She is still super cute and pretty.
Who's your favorite now?
All right, you know what?
Yes.
I'm on season 5.
Yeah, you should have picked one by now.
I think I can say my favorite pony.
Go ahead.
I've been trying to hold back, to make sure I reserve judgments to give them time to develop. But I think I have a hierarchy now.
Good.
All right. I'm going to tell you my favorites based on who I think they.
I want to hear favorite first. No, actually, work up to your favorite. I want to hear this. This is good.
Okay.
I've got my popcorn ready.
I want to say, like, that I'm doing this from the perspective of, one, like, how are they as a good friend / just person / pony in general, like, in terms of how they treat others, like, how their qualities are the best, like, I'm kind of rating them in, like, wow, I genuinely think, like, your story's great, and also you are just a great fucking person / pony, and I would totally chill with you, like, and I would want you in my life. And also on the relatability scale in terms of, like, I can relate to who you are. So those are, like, the things of, like, of that. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to have to put, hold on.
Okay. I'm listening.
Real quick.
I'm anxiously waiting for this.
Real quick. I'm going to get a little document up real quick.
Ooh, okay. This is good.
Okay. So I'm just going to type out all their names real quick. And then I'm going to put some numbers by them because I haven't actually made a chart yet. But okay, let's see. We got Pinky, Fluttershy, Rarity, Rainbow, Dash, Apple, Jack, and Twilight. There's 6 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the main 6. All right, so let's see. There's 6, so let's see. Da-da-da. 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 Well, no. It's happening.
God.
I'm getting it in order.
Okay, I just found something for Saber Spark. Oh god.
All right, let's see. Hold on. All right, I have my order. Okay. So number 6, I'm going to say, and I know nobody here is listening to this podcast for pony stuff, but suck it up, okay?
Yeah.
We're just doing this right now because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My number 6th ranked pony is Rainbow Dash.
Ooh, all right, good choice. Yeah, Rainbow Dash is a bit of a bitch.
Yeah, she's at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't hate her, but she's, when compared to our other girls, like, she's not best. She's not close to best girl.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 5 is Rarity. Like, I think Rarity's great and stuff. She's definitely above Rainbow Dash.
Damn, it's just like she dropped to 5 though.
Yeah,
Jesus.
she dropped to 5. Yeah.
I gotta tell Hero.
She was definitely tied for 4th though.
Okay.
Yeah, like she was almost 4th. My 4th place is Pinkie Pie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Rarity and Pinkie are actually like, it was hard to pick their spots because I really enjoy Pinkie Pie.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate at times, but like I think Pinkie definitely by 0.1% deserved to be above Rarity, because I also had some really fun Rarity moments where I really appreciate Rarity.
Right. Okay.
All right, number 3 is Applejack.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I
sure
really like Applejack. I think she is a ray of sunshine, and I
She
love
is.
the traits about her that make her who she is. Are very wonderful, and like I love that pony, man. She's a really nice pony.
She's awesome.
And now for number 2, which will also reveal who my number 1 is. Number 2 is Fluttershy.
Ah, my favorite. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's my number 2. It was actually a tough debate between her and, of course, my number 1 is Twilight.
Yeah, I knew like once we met you, I was like, are you sure Twilight isn't your favorite? Because it's just like Twilight, anxious little bun. It's just like,
no, yeah, it's the anxiety, like straight up, like
she's an anxious little bun.
She's so anxious, and there's so many moments where I'm like, I fucking get you, Twilight. Like, we fucking vibe right now. I am you.
Right.
Like, but also Fluttershy. Like, I watched this Halloween episode last night, and Fluttershy was trying to scare all the ponies, and the way she tried to scare them was like putting them in like social situations where she was just like, you have friends that come over, but they bring too many guests, and you don't have enough food to feed them. That's scary. And I was like, oh my God, Fluttershy.
Fluttershy
I
is the
relate to
best.
that. That episode actually bonked her up for me, because I think Applejack was going to be my number 2.
Applejack's my number 2.
Yeah. And Fluttershy was going to be my number 3. So it was kind of like there was like a little bit of a headbutt there. But Twilight, no contest, is my number 1.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. Oh,
yeah,
God.
So you heard it here first, guys. That's my pony ranking. Are there any that you disagree with?
No, I agree with most of them. I would agree. To me, Twilight, there are some things Twilight does where I'm like, honey, all right, you're smarter than this. Like, for instance, in season 4, there's a scene where Fluttershy and Applejack are getting into it about the bats. And she's like, stop the bats. And Twilight's singing along with them. Stop the bats. It's like, you're a fucking princess.
No,
you shouldn't be singing along with them right now. You should be like, guys, stop. This is really petty. But you're singing along. And I was just like,
I agree. That episode felt out of character for a lot of people.
I was just like, what the heck? And there's some certain ones too. And certain ones we'll get to. But I was like, for me, Fluttershy is God tier, S tier. Anyone who's
she's
with
up
that,
there.
fight me. And Applejack is second best for me. And then I would say like I would say like Rainbow Dash and Rarity are low tier. Like I would definitely honestly, most of them, like I think like Pinkie and Twilight are interchangeable for me, because sometimes Pinkie's really great, but then sometimes she's a bit. It's like, you should know that this is stressing your friend out. Like that whole time when Fluttershy was singing, she's like, wow, could you imagine just singing in front of all this people, like having this day? And it's just like, Pinkie, you're not helping. Pinkie
has no fucking chill. But like, Pinkie and Rarity are interchangeable for me, because they have specific qualities about them that I'm like, I really like these qualities, and like, this is really awesome. But otherwise, like, most of the situations they get themselves into, I'm not as invested in.
Right.
Versus like Fluttershy and Applejack, like those two, I would love a little show about those two, because Applejack is
they're
so
barely
fucking
near
wholesome.
each other.
Yeah. Like, dude, Applejack is so heckin' wholesome, and like such a good fucking pony, man. And like, but Fluttershy too, like when she's trying to overcome shit, And like when I see the very real anxious place she comes from too, I'm just like, I get it, man, I get it. But Twilight, like with like the responsibility and trying to be the best she can be, but then like she goes into that little spiral of anxiety. I'm like, oh my fucking god, you're my girl, man. I get it.
Twilighting.
Yeah. And I know it's stereotypical to like go for the main character to be your favorite, but fuck it, man. Twilight's a good girl. Okay. She's a really good girl.
Paleo would love you. That's his favorite.
Oh, nice. So yeah.
Okay.
I've had my.
So now, after you finish a few more episodes, you can do one of those tier list things. Then.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. But yeah, let's get back on track. Now that
let's get back on track. I can't wait for the guys to hear that.
Yeah. So you've been up to like making your abs more ripped and whatnot.
And
I have
Dawn Brew.
Yes, and Dawn Brew, which we can also talk about later in the podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have recently been cast in a little film happening here in Alabama, which is really cool. It's called Safe Havens, and it is very fun and whatnot. My first shooting day is actually tomorrow.
Nice.
So that is exciting. I play Robin, who's kind of a I'm not gonna give away full details of her character just because I don't know if it's complete public knowledge at this point. But like, yeah, I guess druggy is like one word that can be said, but I won't go into details.
Okay.
Because
where can people watch this when it's done?
That is a question that we do not have the answer to yet because we're gonna be in production for a while. We're hoping to have our premiere at the Alabama Theater. Whenever it's done, because we're actually partnered with like some TV networks here too, and so like that's pretty cool. And so we're very hopeful because the last film that we did, soon enough, we actually got on like Amazon streaming and like all this stuff, but like we have like a lot more resources for this film, so and we have a fucking talented cast and a big cast too, and like the script is really good. I was reading through it, and I'm not even just saying that. Like, I really like a lot of the stories that are being told. Like, it's trying to conquer like 4 separate issues in one story and bringing together like a group of friends. Like, one is about drug addiction, one is about rape, one is about racism in the classroom, and one is about
what did you say? I'm sorry.
Family abuse.
Okay.
What?
No, for a second. I misheard you for a second. I thought you said, like, one is about drug abuse, one is about a rake, one is about this, and I was just like, wait, what did you say? A rake?
No.
I was just like,
there's a storyline on sexual assault. There's a storyline on family abuse as well that also kind of goes into sexual assault. And I won't give too many details in that sense, but it's a pretty deep story, and I really like the way they're telling it. No, I know.
I'm just imagining a stupid rake now.
A rake, like in the corner, like,
yeah,
I'll get you, gadget.
Yeah, I was just like, what? I don't know.
Yeah, it's very different from the silly, goobery stuff that I usually do. But yeah, that's something that I'm very excited to work on. And also, I just submitted for Now Voice This round 4.
Nice.
Or well, it's round 1 of round 4, if that makes sense. Yeah, this is the 4th time they're doing the competition. I have entered my round 1 submission, and I'm feeling really hopeful because the voice actress for Maria, actually, Maria is a very favorite character of mine right now. I can't even get the voice right
on
now.
Ruby.
I'm excited.
For people who don't know. Ruby,
yeah, on
Maria.
Ruby. Maria and Weiss are, well, Weiss is my favorite character and Best Girl Always Forever. But like, I had a lot of fun at RTX this year with Tina. We were both doing like a Maria voice, and it was really funny. So I was like, I'll just throw Maria into it too. And I put it on Twitter, and the voice actress from Ruby for Maria actually said like, she tweeted at me like, "Oh my God, your Maria's so cute," and I was like, "Oh my God!" Those weren't the exact words, but she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love it. This sounds so good," like something like that, and I was like,
nice.
"Oh my gosh, that's so nice." So that was really cool. So I'm feeling pretty hopeful that my submission made it through.
Yeah,
who knows?
Good.
Maybe because Eileen won the last thing. Of
Yeah, she did.
So yeah, so I'm just like,
know her.
come on, gods. Let it be me. I want it so bad. So I worked really hard on that video, and actually it's funny because I did work hard like when I was editing it together and stuff, but like the idea for what I wanted to do for the video just kind of came to me, and that's how a lot of my Now Voice This stuff has been, is like, what's a fun idea, and then I just roll with it. And I wrote a script in like 5 minutes. I recorded it in like 10 minutes, and then I edited it together in like 15 minutes.
Nice.
And like within an hour I had it all uploaded, and it was like, and it was getting very positively received, and I was just really happy because I really want to make it to the next round. I'd love to make it through 2 rounds this time. Every time I've entered, I always make it to the second round. So here's hoping I can do that again. But I never make it past that. But I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, you got it. You just gotta stay consistent with that shit.
Yeah, and then of course, like, well, this is public knowledge, but Something Witty Entertainment is doing open auditions for My Hero Academia Abridged right now, and I have thrown my hat into the ring, and I really hope I get a call back. So I will keep you guys updated on that because I feel like I have a chance, and I'm going for it. So
just keep at that shit.
Yeah, just gotta keep at it. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't we go to our first question, Jordan, and I'll stop talking
congrats,
about me. Thank you.
Well, first off, now why don't we go to our first question, because that's my idea.
Yeah, you're right. This is your idea.
All right, so this one comes from our friend Kyle, who's been watching for a while. And Kyle says, "Hi there, Jax and Katy. My name is Kyle, and I really love your podcast. It gets me through my day and really picks me up. My question to y'all is, what is a good way to be genuinely confident in yourself even after rejections? Specifically, what are some ways I can do this? I ask because in my life, I've always been very friendly and the life of the party, but it seems the girls I like never like me back." Oh, been there, buddy. And, they never like me back the same way or just choose someone else over me. Triple been there, buddy. I ask my friends if it's me and my personality, and they are honest and say, no, she just liked that guy more than you for whatever reason. I never mope around about it, as I don't control their decisions, and I'm not a beta-ass incel whiny bitch male, as Jaxblade would say. You right? Yeah, boy, you ain't. And but sometimes it does hurt to like someone and constantly be chosen over. I know in previous eps you both mentioned how it's important to not let other people measure your worth. So my question is, what are some tips I can do right now to start feeling more confident in myself? So he wants some tips. Oh, buddy. Well, buddy. I have been there. I've been chosen over so many times. I remember this one time that like traumatized me. It was at homecoming, and I took this really pretty girl out to date, and it was like nice, and I took her there, and then like my friend was there, and then she was like, we were all hanging talking out, and she was like, who's that friend you were talking to? Oh, that's my friend John. I was like, he's really cute. And I was like, do you know? And I was just like, well, looks like I'm gonna play wingman for this guy. Yeah, he likes you, because I'm an ultimate wingman. And then they got dating, and I was just like, okay, whatever.
Oh, no.
And then I was just like, that happens all the time. I'm constantly chosen over. And you know what? It's one of those things you just gotta look at yourself in the mirror and go, hey, it's okay, bro. You're good. What you do is you focus. What I started doing, because this still happens to me, like I still have like this complex, like even though I'm super confident in myself because I'm strong and I'm buff and I make good money and I'm like really, I try to be really nice, but I'm not a pushover. And so I take all these qualities and I write down what I like about myself on paper so I can actually see it and visibly say it. And then I can say like, what don't I like about myself? And if it's something negative, I can be like, okay, I can fix that by doing this. Or if it's something I can't fix, it's just you make peace with it and you just go, okay, well, this is something I can't change about myself and make peace with it. Because I remember this one time I tried to change my actually it was 2 times, early 20s. You grow in your early 20s. I tried to change my personality to be more, and I talked with a deeper voice, and I was just like, hold on, let me see if I can do my deep voice. And it was just like, yeah, so, would you like to go out sometime? Oh yeah, that'd be really cool, girl. Yeah, sure, I don't mind. And like, I'm really into like football and basketball and shit like that. And I was just like, I was getting tired of doing that deep voice, even though I wish that was my voice. And so I was just like, look, if a girl don't like me for me, I'm not gonna like myself. So I'm just like, that would be so boring just to be like. You got to think of it like what matters to you. Hopefully, my friend. You can find a girl who will like you for your personality and your traits and be like, you are a diamond and I never want to let you go. But all right, think of it like this. This is the best way I'm going to put it to you. A nice, sexy, hot, kind, beautiful woman is just a supplement to a good life. Think of it like when you go to the gym and you work out. All right, and then you take a protein supplement. It's like, okay, yeah, I already have a great life, and this supplement is just making it easier to go with. Oh, I've got this great life now, and then I've met this girl, and she's a supplement. And that goes for
most relationships,
too.
Yeah,
I already have a good life. I don't need to worry about her because I have a good life. And you don't want to be one of these people who fake shit and then like oh, I'm faking positivity and stuff like that. No, you're just genuine. Like you just find stuff you like skating or watching anime and making videos about it and stuff.
I want to jump in.
Go ahead, jump in.
With one thing that I think is a perspective that can also kind of help you moving forward, is the fact that like in society, men are kind of put in this position, and like there's advantages and disadvantages definitely, but are kind of put in this position to where they have to be the pursuers, or at least I think that they've been raised to believe that that's the norm. Like and tell me if I'm saying anything wrong, but based on societal expectations of men and women, men are typically felt more pressured to be the ones to pursue, and that and I think that in itself is a negative thing for both men and women, because on the one hand, if men are feeling this pressure, they're probably, and women don't want to be pressured into doing stuff, and like if men feel like they're needing to do this, it's like that sucks for all of us. Like we shouldn't be that way. It should be like this equal thing of like, we'll both do that. But because I guess I don't know how it happened, but because men are kind of put in that position, those expectations that are created of like when a guy's interacting with a girl, it's kind of this unhealthy thing of like a will they, won't they mindset. Even when we watch media, like we see like if there's a woman and a man having a positive interaction, in most cases, our first thought is will they, won't they, or it doesn't jump right to, oh, good friendship or good relationship. It goes right to like, ooh, will they, won't they, this and that. And I think that can also contribute to men having some, not mental health issues, but like to them feeling like rejected more often because they're putting themselves in these situations where they think they need to pursue or this or that. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be in a relationship or having feelings that are valid. But like, I think if you try to maybe put that into perspective of like, when I meet people, don't go to that mindset of like, this person is a potential partner or this or that. Just try to go with the flow and like be around somebody that makes you happy or makes you feel like valid and respected, and that you make them feel respected. Don't necessarily go into it with the mindset of like, I am talking to this person and there's a chance that it can lead to something more. Yes, it could lead to something more, but that more doesn't have to necessarily mean like you're boner buddies or something. Like and I think that's a perspective that like won't solve the whole issue, of course, but I think it's something to keep in mind, because I hear that from guys a lot, like that thing about like, oh man, no girl is ever into me, or like I do all of this and like still no girl's interested in me, when like that mindset can be kind of toxic, because like Jordan said, you just need to be your own fucking person. It's not about like, oh man, will doing this make girls more into me? Will doing that make girls more into me? Dude, you just being fucking you and fucking going out there and killing it, that's what makes you interesting to anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you don't want to be...
I love being around people that they fucking know what they want. And even if what they want is different from what I want, if they respect and like, if they respect people and like they love themselves and they love what they're doing, dude, that's fucking hot. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a like very like to bounce off what Katy's saying right there. Like, it makes, this goes for girls and guys regardless. Like, if you have a goal that like, or something like you're really passionate about, and you're like, oh, this is my goal, like that is like appealing to people. Like, oh wow, you are actually really doing it. And on just like positivity, where you're like, I want this goal for myself, and I want to like achieve this goal, and I'm gonna just like work for it, and it's just something that makes me so happy and stuff. Like, people can respect that, like, oh yeah, that's really an attractive quality. Just from a personality perspective, that's an attractive quality. Like, oh wow, this person's cool. And just
so I think to answer that question of like, what are tips to make me feel more confident, I think that expectations and like that mindset going into life is like something that's very important to being a confident person. Not making it feel like all of these situations are people rejecting me. It's like, no, they're just living their life. Like, you should just be living your life. It's not Like, because for example, and I'm not saying that you're necessarily doing this, I don't know your entire situation, but if you go into a room of women and your thought process is, oh man, I wonder how many of these girls are interested in me, and then like a bunch of them aren't or whatever, like you're gonna leave that room saying like, oh man, like a lot of those women didn't like me in that way, therefore I failed. Versus if you go into this room with the mindset of, man, I'm having a really good day, I'm just gonna go meet people, and you don't focus on whether or not those people like you in the way you want them to like you, but whether you had a positive interaction with them, or even if you just walked out of it with more friends than you had before, that mindset is what kind of creates that confidence. Not focusing.
My asexual friend does.
Yeah, but you can be a sexual I'm a sexual person, and I try to have that mindset.
A sexual person.
But yeah, I think that's kind of an important mindset to keep in mind to keep you confident, because it can kind of weigh on you if you're going into a thing thinking like, oh, I have to get somebody to think of me particularly in this way and that, when you're just doing your shit and you're kind of going with the vibe, you're putting a little bit of energy out, getting a little bit back, like kind of just naturally going with it. That's what creates the best relationships in general, and building a good foundation of just like good vibes in general can lead to other awesome shit. Like, you don't have to always go to that jump. And even if my words are a little jumbled at times, I hope that you kind of understand what I'm saying there. And like, it sucks. Like, there's elements of it that are still gonna suck, but there's ways that you can lessen the suck and get to the good suck.
Yeah, be a badass. Be the freaking badass demigod of your life, right? You don't want to focus on other shit. Like, focus on the stuff you want to do, and then like that'll attract the right people. And then when you're ready, you can just be like, "Here's some of my energy, spirit bomb that shit," and then it's like, "Oh yeah, there you go," and then boom.
Yeah, and as I'm getting older, and like, I'm not crazy old, but like,
speak for yourself.
but as I keep getting older and as I keep getting more experiences and stuff, one thing that I'm noticing is everybody is going through something. Everyone has something that they're insecure about, or something that they're like trying to figure out. And so everybody, when they're going into a situation, isn't the 100% like, I know what I'm doing person that you might think that they are. And so you should always go into a situation with a little bit of humility and understanding in that. Like, don't go into a situation like, oh man, this person has their shit figured out, so I need to act like I have my shit figured out. When like, in reality, if you're just honest with who you are and understand when to convey certain information, like, don't go into it saying like, hi, I have no money, and don't just say that out loud.
Hi,
I have no money, would you like to go eat food and I'll put it on a credit card and pay it off later? Like, I don't know. Like, you have to organically find ways to like communicate certain information.
You, even though you like fit people, but I'm not fit, but you should like me anyway.
yeah. Don't go into it like 100. There's a difference between like, understanding the couth and like social interaction stuff versus like when to say whatever. Like, there's like I said, there's elements of it that are still going to be shitty, and you have to figure out how to navigate. But yeah, just go into it. Just be a human being that like is just trying to be happy like everyone else is, and go into it with humility and respect every situation, and don't put all those crazy expectations onto shit sometimes. Just let yourself go with the flow, man.
Yeah.
And like, and sometimes you will have to put that little extra step of energy into it, but when it comes to people, sometimes there's a lot of stuff you can't predict, and no amount of hard work can necessarily get the results you want when it comes to people's feelings.
Yeah.
And that's a sucky, hard thing to get into your brain sometimes, because like, I too am a person that's like, yeah, if I work hard I can do this and that, but there's elements in life that it's more than that. And then
a couple months you can just get a robot girlfriend, or a couple of years.
Like, I just want to say, in Agretzko, for example, there's a scene where Haida and Anai, who Anai is like the goddamn like, ugh, fuck Anai, but like, there's a scene where they are at a vending machine, and Haida's like, dude, why didn't you like help Agretzko with like why didn't you help Agretzko? Yeah, why didn't you help Agretzko? Why didn't you help Agretzko with like the thing? And Anai's like, well, it is not my responsibility to help her with that thing, because that is not the job that I signed up for, and this and that and that. And then Haida's like, dude, it's not fucking about that. Like, it's about fucking like just doing the right thing. Like, just being a nice guy. Like, being a nice guy isn't
Nice
like the definition that the internet puts on. It's literally just not being a dick. If something is socially called for, just being cool. Like, even if it feels like, well, I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to do this. Well, somebody has to. And like sometimes, and life isn't fair in some cases. Sometimes there's going to be little things that it's like, I wish objectively that it would work like this. I wish if I said hi to this woman, it would create the results that I desire. But it's more than that. It's not just work. It's legitimately just, you have to feel things out. There's emotions 100% factor into a lot of the shit that we wish they didn't, but they do.
Yeah.
And
That's
you
why
have
it'd be
to
cool to turn them
you have
off.
to understand.
That'd be so awesome. Wouldn't that be so dope if you go like, all right, turn down these 2 emotions for the day. I know we talked about this before, but that would just be cool. Just like, all right, emotionless, logical thinking for today. I'd be so productive. Da, 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 da. And then you just turn it on when it's like, okay, time to enjoy life. Hey, that's so much better. I just did all my work for the week.
That would be dangerous because, like...
What, because you kill people or something?
Probably. Like, I don't fucking know how we'd be without empathy, man. Like...
I mean, like, you
don't
logically,
have empathy, and you
that's
see
the
how
problem
they
with,
are.
like, robots. Like, people saying, like, bringing robot sentience because, like, you would just, like, because this happened in Avengers too. Like, Ultron literally just, like, when he was born, he went on the internet and it was like, y'all humans need to fucking go. It's just like, y'all causing this much damage to the environment, doing all this crap. Yeah, you need to go. So that's the thing you always gotta look out for. But yeah, speaking of...
Hey,
yeah,
look
crack.
at that segue. Speaking of, like, girls and guys, I guess, and we hope we answered your question.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. Yeah, this next question is on a similar topic, but a different question.
Okay.
It says, hey, Jax, and it doesn't say Katy, so I'm really sad and I'm going to go cry now. But it says, I love your vids, and they crack me up and inspire me. So my question for, I'm going to insert both of you,
Okay.
is if you think it's okay, or do you think it's okay if your girlfriend breaks up with you, but you guys are still very close? Is it still okay to be really good friends, minus the title of boyfriend and girlfriend? Because this recently happened to me, and I want to hear your guys' opinion on it. Appreciate it.
Senpai.
Yay.
You left
Senpai.
out the senpai.
Yeah, I left out the senpai. Yeah. Well, they left out
I'm
my
senpai.
name. I'm salty.
All right, Oni-chan. All right.
Wow.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it can be. It's a very nuanced thing because if you ended on really bad terms, if for example, if this person cheated on you or if this or that, like if there's a situation where you feel like, I don't think I want this person in my life anymore, but they want to be in your life and you feel like guilty, like, oh, well, should I let them back in my life? Should I forgive them? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to let anyone in your life if they make you feel uncomfortable, even if you feel like that they're justified in wanting to be in your life and if you feel like it's the quote unquote right thing for them to be. If it doesn't feel okay to you, if they aren't somebody that you think brings you more positivity than negativity, you don't have to do anything. You can let them not be in your life. Even if they're not necessarily a bad person, if they're an okay person, you don't have to let someone back into your life. But, exclamation mark, if you think that there can be something fruitful to come of it, or if you would like to try, even if you don't know how it would feel, if you're scared, but you want to try, and they want to try, then it is okay. And sometimes you might get a really good result. I have an ex that I'm really good friends with. I mean, granted, he lives in another state. He lives in Atlanta, and we haven't, talked in a while, but, we caught up, he was my high school sweetheart, and he broke my heart, all this shit, yada yada. And for 2 years I was like, oh god, I'm so heartbroken, wah. And it was a really tough time. But then one day I had moved on. I think I'd had 2 other boyfriends after him, and I had never really even thought about him again. But I saw him at a con one day and we just caught up, and then eventually we randomly just took a road trip together, me and him and a few other friends. And it was intimidating at first, but it was also I feel like I might I'll give it a shot. I'll give this friendship thing with him a shot, even though he did hurt me, but it was so long ago that I'm just kind of I think at the time, and here's the thing about relationships. There's no such thing as permanence in if somebody feels one way about you today, you can't guarantee they'll feel the same way tomorrow. And what that can mean is, yes, that can be scary because oh, this person I love, they could one day just not love me anymore. But it can also mean, oh man, I feel hurt by this person, but 5 years from now, that pain can be gone. Time can really heal all wounds, and it can also be scary, but it's also nice to know that you're never stuck. Time will move things forward. Time will move forward whether you want it to or not. And that means that your relationships with people will change. And so somebody who might have broken your heart at one point, or you broke their heart, there's a time period where, yeah, you might not need to be together, even if you want to be, and like they don't want to be. You just have to respect their wishes and let them do what they need to do to feel powerful again, or to feel what they need to feel again. But over time, one day you might randomly run into each other, and like you both might just be like, you know what? Do you want to catch coffee? And that's okay. Like, so I think it's just about understanding your intentions and your mindset, and understanding that you have your whole life to be friends with someone. If somebody wants to be in your life, they will be. And if the circumstances are never created for them to be, that's okay. But if they are, and you want to give it a shot, that's okay too.
Okay.
Went on a very deep rant there.
Yeah. Yeah, again, it depends. Like, some people can do it, because I know, like, there's some people, like, pretty much everything Katie just said. Like, I know, like, a mutual friend of ours, he had something recently happen to him where he was, like, he had to, like, not talk to the person for 3 months, but now they're close as steel right now. They just had to, like, take that little break, so they're fine. So, yeah. I agree everything what she said. That's valid. So it depends, and as long as it's not toxic and you feel good, then you're fine.
Yeah. And like really reiterating on the fact that like it may feel like the end of the world, and like you're like, oh, I want this person to be in my life, but if this person needs to be in your life, it needs to be on terms that you are both comfortable with. And it can't be like from a place of I'm clinging onto this person because I miss them or this or that. It has to come from an organic place of like, I have moved on. And sometimes to get to that place, you have to have this person not be in your life anymore to get there. And that can suck. Like sometimes you have to push something away before it can be closer to you. And that's a weird thing to really experience and understand. But I've experienced and and I think I have a better understanding of that. And there are exes in my life too that like I wish I could be friends with them, but I also don't. Like, we all have people in our lives that there might be just a mystery forever, but there might also be like an understanding that one day it might not be that way. And like, you know, we all just have to do our best, go through life, and whatever happens, happens. Like, don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself to the types of relationships that you can have and the types of friendships you can have based on what society says. Like if you have an ex that turns into your best friend one day, cool. If does that mostly turn into negative situations? Probably. But if you can make it work, like you have to do what feels right for you. And as long as you're being honest with yourself about your intentions going into these friendships or relationships and whatnot, then it'll be fine, as long as you have those conversations with yourself and don't try to make it something it's not.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So I think we
Hell
you did a good job with that question. So speaking of questions,
Oh!
because you did a good job with the girly side of the question. But to go off that, this is a question we've got from Lisa, and she's added on to it. Now, last week she was asking, we didn't get a chance to answer, but she was talking about how like certain things will have a very feminist type of message of like, I'm a strong woman, I'm strong this, and they like get overly preachy with it to a point like where they were talking about Charlie's Angels and Captain Marvel and other stuff. And then this is to add on to that, and it was like, in general, do you think the never give up, I'm strong and don't need anyone trope in series is more inspiring or more annoying? Lisa.
Can I start on this one?
Okay, because I have some words for it too. Go ahead.
I do too. Honestly, I find it interesting that it's being framed from a feminist standpoint, because my first thought when I hear the never give up / I'm strong and don't need anybody trope is like fucking Bleach, Ichigo. Like,
that shit is so
I think that they hella overused it on Ichigo versus like, I actually had a conversation like this in on my road trip to RTX with my friend Andrew, where we were talking about like different shonen protagonists and the when is it overused versus when is it badass trope of like, I can't give up. Like they have like cuts all over their body and it's like, no, I can still fight. Luffy, it feels like really earned and built up to, but like Ichigo, there were times where it was like it felt like they were just giving him this ability to keep going even though he clearly had injuries that it couldn't it would not work that way. They're just kind of overusing it to where it's kind of like it doesn't mean anything.
Oh,
versus like with Luffy, like there were a lot of times where it's like it felt earned and it still felt badass
and
instead
also,
of just like every time he keeps getting up.
And also with Luffy, he knows when to run away. It's not he just like will keep going. He'll like go, oh shit, I need to get out of here. And that's actually moves into my point about the never give up trope, because like, all right, for example, I just think this goes for anyone, male, female, whatever, like you represent yourself as. I think it's so much more powerful if you don't talk about it, you just show it. So for example, a great example of this is like they were talking about last week, Captain Marvel and Charlie's Angels talking about the feminist mention, like strong women and all this stuff. Like a great way they did that was in Wonder Woman. In Wonder Woman, we know Wonder Woman's a strong character and princess, but she doesn't say it. She just shows us. She's walking on the battlefield. I need to save all these guys. Boom, boom. She's like just going through fucking up all these people.
I have a job to do, motherfucker. Like,
yeah, exactly. I need
a
job to do. She's showing us. She's like, I'm not gonna like have this like, oh, I can't give up, oh, I must go out. And she's like just gets up, walks up to the villain, and is like, bring it. And that is so much more powerful. And that's another thing to like, I saw this fantastic video, I can't believe, I forget the guy who made it, but he was talking about this very trope we're talking about here. And like the thing is like, there are characters, like she mentioned, with Ichigo and Naruto, where they're constantly like, you give up trying to make me give up. I'm just gonna get, it's just like, shut the fuck. It's like a great way of talking about it is like how in Endgame, when Captain America fights his old self, he's just like, huh, you think I would give up? And he's like, yeah, I know. And it's just like, it's so funny because it's just like, oh, I'm past this point. And a great character who actually does this, is one of our personal favorites, is Rock Lee. Rock Lee says it to himself, but he doesn't like, and if he's in a fight, he's not going to be like, I'm not giving up. He's just going to show you I'm getting up. Yeah. He's just like, he's not going to say it out loud.
Which actually, on that inner monologue / narrative standpoint, I actually do really like when it's done well, and I've seen it done well a lot. Mm-hmm. When there's characters, male or female, when they're just kind of like, when they're pushed down, they're beaten down, and like you see that struggle in them, like Sakura versus Ino, the fight in Naruto in the Chunin exams, where like Sakura is just like, no, I'm not gonna stop fighting, like screw this, or no, in the Forest of Death, when Sakura
cut her hair,
is like. Yeah, well, yes, when she cut her hair, well, actually, that moment too, but, like, when she was, like, being beaten down, she would just keep getting up with a kunai, even though she knew that those Sound Ninja Village could fuck her shit up. She was like, no, if this is how I'm gonna die, I'm going to die with honor. I'm going to stand here and defend my team.
My team, yeah.
Like,
that's so powerful because it's showing it, and Ino's watching it, like how could she do this?
Yes, and even if she knows, like, even if I can't win, I am not giving up. Like, those moments are some of the most powerful for me. And so, like, that's kind of like, I know that people say they give a lot of shit to Sakura, but I'm a big Sakura fan. There's a lot of stuff about Sakura, I obviously don't like, but I think we can allow characters to have flaws, but also understand their value. And understand when they are being badass. If they are objectively being a badass, let them exactly.
Some people like hold it like some fool yesterday. It was like a couple days ago because there was that tweet of like Rock Lee and Sakura versus all of Class 1A. I was like, oh yeah, she would like stomp them by herself. Like even if All Might was there, she would solo that shit. Yeah, she would fuck up on. And so like someone was like, huh, she got her ass beat by puppets, and I was like, you clearly didn't watch the 4th Ninja War arc, did you? And then like all his points is just like you're easily being disabled here. And it's just it's like shit like that. I'm like, no, this person objectively did something really badass, like what Katy was saying. And it's just like another great character, like my boy Goku. He does not say it. He just gets up and he's just like, I'm gonna keep working. Like Goku and Vegeta. Well, Vegeta does say it, but when Vegeta does it, like he is just badass and raw. Like when he was fighting Kid Buu, like he was getting his ass beat. But the reason he was saying it was so Goku could gather energy, and he was trying to get Buu to go after him instead of him. Like there's this point where and this isn't really a spoiler, okay, like it's just fine, but he's like, because everyone fights in DBZ, so like what happens is like there's this great scene where like this is where I think it's done right, where Majin Buu, one of the final villains in Dragon Ball Z, he's trying to attack Goku. Goku's trying to charge up his attack to go fight him. Yeah. And then like Vegeta is like going up to Buu like, well, I ain't shit to you. Well, come on, you ain't nothing but a freaking trickster. I am a warrior. And it's just like like getting his ass beat, but he keeps coming up and he's just talking so much shit. And then Boo's just like, this motherfucker, really? And so he just goes over and starts beating him up. But that's what Vegeta wanted. So that worked really damn well. But like,
so,
But like I think it's like again, like I say, like if you have to keep saying like, oh, I'll never give up, I'm never bad, like Natsu, or again Naruto, he does this too, but it's just like it feels just like, all right, we get it, come on. Even Asta from Black Clover does this. It's just like, guys, just do it. Like, show, don't tell. If you show that, just show them like this is an easy way to do it. Like, show them get knocked the fuck down, and then just have them like plant their feet up and just like, you know, wipe the blood from their nose and just like keep coming. That is so much more powerful than just saying like, I am a strong woman, I don't need to prove anything to you, I am a strong person, I don't need to prove that. I will never give up, I'm the strongest. It's just like, no, guy, just keep going.
Yeah, I agree that there are times where I think it can be overused, but I think if the question is trying to address, I guess, when like strong women characters do it, I think we in like the mainstream don't have enough like mainstream female characters that to really like look at as the norm. And so whenever we see this trope done, mostly it's by the guys. So when the girls do it, we have a smaller pool to look at, so it's easier to judge like if it's done right or wrong, because again, there's not as many of them doing it. And but there are lots of times when it's done badass, and I wish we could just look at it from the perspective of like, dude, this is like a trope that I think can be used well, and all people can do it, and as long as you're just like trying to be the most badass person that you can be, like, and allowing characters to have flaws like the male characters are allowed to have too, like a woman, like the women characters, they don't have to be like these perfect flower whatever or the most badass angry woman. Like, it doesn't have to be the extremes. Like, they can just be like a fucking badass but also have their flaws that can be relatable, or some may not be relatable. But like Sakura, I think, is a really good example of like a character.
She doesn't talk, she just fights.
Yeah, she got shit on a lot, but like, yeah, she has some flaws, but so do all the fucking other characters. And you don't see her whining about it anymore. You see her being like, nah, okay, I have some flaws. I'm gonna fucking work on them, and I'm gonna get the shit done. And I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna do the Naruto speech where it's like, I'll never give up, but I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fucking do my job, and if that doesn't get me as much attention, so be it. But I'm gonna be out here and I'm gonna do it. And
yeah,
so
the last few Sakura
that's why
scenes
I'll
have been
always
pretty
fight
badass.
for Sakura.
yeah, exactly. I think she's great. Sakura's freaking goat.
Dude, and Rock Lee. Dude, honestly, when I saw that post going around on Twitter of Rock Lee and Sakura, my first thought was like, oh God, I love them so much. Like, that was honestly one of the first, I think it's called crack ships, where
it's just like, it's not right, but it's like,
it's not real. Yeah. It's not real, and it's not like
and it's
valid
not right.
necessarily. Yeah, and it's not right, but like, I wanted it so bad because I knew if there were just a few things changed, they would be the perfect power team.
Whatever.
But it was like, but it sucked. No,
I'm so against. See, I was like that person.
That's why
so
I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's not real. It's not right. But like, because Rock Lee wanted her so bad, and because she wouldn't be able to truly appreciate Lee, I don't think she deserves him.
Yeah, that's
but
why
like
got
at the
Samui.
Yeah. But at the same time,
yeah, he did. Samui's big titty
that's
ass.
Not
he got
canon.
Her. Yes,
that's not
you
canon.
Look at Metal Lee and tell me
There's
that's not the product of
confirming
Samui
who his
and
mother
Rock Lee.
is.
Look, I'm telling you,
until
Samui and Rock Lee
until I see them fucking Jordan.
The fuck out of each other. There is no fuck. No one can tell me Samui and Lee did not fuck the hell out of each other. That is my headcanon. I'm sticking to it, unless it's asexual. Like, he came from the guy tree. Where,
no, Lee isn't asexual. I don't think so.
No. Well, he loves
Sakura. That would be okay if he is.
No, I'm not saying he. I'm saying like it's. I said an asexual reproduction, like where like, you know, like something came out of guy, and then like Lee was born, and then like Lee had that same thing, and then Metal
what
was
if
born.
Lee? I could see Mike Guy being asexual. Honestly, like. He's just like out here living his best life.
Lee.
But then again, no. Even though we don't want to admit it, Guy Sensei is just oozing sex appeal. Let's be real.
He's ripped.
Yeah, dude, he's fucking stacked, and like, dude, he's got his shit together, man. Like, say what you want about Guy Sensei, but
he worked his ass off.
He'd make a great ass husband to anyone.
He ran 5,000 laps as a child. Think about that for a second. 5,000 laps around a 400-meter track. Do you know how many fucking miles that is?
I'm not saying that I want to do Guy Sensei, but I'm just saying anyone that has him would be lucky and should cherish him.
Yeah, that's what girls always say.
And same with Rock Lee.
Yeah.
God, he's such a good boy.
He's a good man
now. He's so good. He's a good man. He's a good man.
Rock Lee had sex and gave birth to a child.
He did have
Samui.
sex with
he
someone.
He titty fucked Samui.
With
That's
somebody.
my headcanon.
You know, I'm not saying that I don't support them being together. I just don't see any proof.
You don't see how
happened.
Sam Wee looks so much like Metal?
I know the post that you're talking about.
It
And
looks
I
so much
looked
like
at it.
him, though.
I looked at it, and I don't see any proof yet. That's all
I
I'm saying.
am telling you,
That's all I'm saying.
I'm telling you, the body movement. I'm linking it right now just to look at it just while we're talking about it. Yeah, I see it. I can't not see it. It looks so similar.
Well.
So similar. But speaking of similar,
Oh.
Katie, it's your cue.
No, I know. I was looking at the picture, man.
Yeah, they're the same.
I know, but it's
She
not
got
proven.
some tiggle
It's not
bitties,
proven.
man.
But
yeah,
speaking
so I'm happy for Lee. He got the best girl.
Tiggle bitties, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm gonna segue to this next question. You're gonna like
Damn,
it.
she's big. All right, yeah.
You right? So, what are your go-to songs when you need to get pumped up or when you're feeling sad? Just give me all your songs for your feelings.
Let the Bodies Hit the Floor is unironically my favorite song of all time. That is unironically because I remember, and it's so horrible, the reason why it's my favorite is because, like, when I was a kid getting beaten up and bullied, I would hear that song on the radio, and then when I started doing MMA class, I used to visualize me just cracking all the bully skulls in MMA class, and so it unironically became my favorite song of all time, so it pipes me up every single time. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit and then also Down with the Sickness. Oh, I love that. That is my shit. Like, I'd say.
So are those still your songs? Like, what emotion is conveyed when you listen to those? Like,
anger,
what do you?
Rage.
Okay.
I want to fucking brutalize these motherfuckers.
So do you play it when you're angry, or do you play it when you
I'm
need
happy.
to feel angry?
Play it when I'm always angry. I'm like the Hulk.
That's my secret, Katie.
Yes.
I'm always angry and hungry.
Yes. Yeah, I'm always hungry too. Well, yeah. So that was one. Happy songs. All right. So if you want a happy song.
Yeah.
First off, I
What do you
think
put on?
Sanctuary from Kingdom Hearts is more than just a song. That is I don't know how to explain it. That just is a feeling. Like that just it makes you feel good. Like it's just like
It does.
like Sunflower from the Spider-Verse movie.
I listened to that one too.
I love that. That's a good
there's
vibe
a song that I listened to from Waitress called A Soft Place to Land. It's just a very like sweet, somber song whenever I'm just feeling like that kind of middle feeling where I'm just I'm not sure what I'm feeling right now. It gets me to a weird place. I really like listening to that.
I know that song. There's a song called Stolen by Dashboard Confessional that I heard all the time that makes me cry when I listen to it because it's like it reminds me of when this girl I liked was really like for my friend and I was like I gotta give her.
I have a song like that too. Gravity by Sarah Bareilles.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's my go-to song whenever like I would have like those when I need that emotional like cathartic experience. I just listen to that and I sing that song and it's just like set me free, leave me be.
Also,
I don't wanna fall in love with it.
Also, unironically, I love this song. It puts me in a good mood anytime I hear it. And they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming. Like All-Star, Smash Mouth, that shit cheers me up any time of day. Any time of day. That will like make me just happy and smiley and just like, like. Also, Onagai Maso, I love the intro to Don Bruno Karamatero. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Onagai Maso.
The Ruby song, Let's Just Live Day by Day and
Which
Not
season
Be
is
Burdened
that?
by Our Sorrows. I think it's like season 3 or 2. Like, it's an earlier song, but it's my favorite. And it just always pumps me up and makes me feel like alive. And also the Mob Psycho 100 intro.
Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
If everyone is not special, maybe you.
That shit makes you want to go fight like a bunch of people.
Dude, that song
41, 42, 43, 44, 45.
That song gets me fucking hype.
Yeah,
like, but it also inspires me because, like, the lyrics, like, if everyone is not special, maybe you can be who you want to be. Like, it's such a good show, and that song just really encompasses it, and it just like takes me to that place, man.
You and me and I. That got me hyped now.
99.
Yeah, I love that shit. Oh my god, that is such a hype song.
Oh god, yes. Like those are
Mob
some
Psycho,
songs
one of the best
definitely
animes of the season. A lot of people like it
the
better
Mob Psycho
than
100 intros and the Ruby song, like those are
One
my
Punch
like
Man intro too, the first one.
I don't know, it doesn't like it's exciting when I'm with people, but like when I'm just like on my own just doing some shit, and I need a song that like really just builds me up. Like lyrics are so important to me. And
what about the My Hero Academia intro?
They're
I only like the first two, to be honest. I'm one of those people who only likes the first two and none of the other ones.
I like
only
listening to them, like they're fine, but like like it does take me to a fun place, but it doesn't immediately. It's not my first choice. Like, but when it comes on, I'm not gonna not dance. I mean, you know, I'm gonna have a good old time. But like when I'm by myself, just really needing that pump up energy, those other two songs are really like a good go-to for me. Yeah. Oh, there's another song that like whenever I'm like feeling like a somber, like I just want to feel like you know, like you just purposefully are just like I'm in this place and I'm gonna stay here. There's like there's some Post Malone songs that like that do that for me. I'm trying to think of shit, I'm trying to think of how it goes.
And I brought all my bros, and I got all these powers, and vanquish all my foes.
Do my AP
I like
going
that song.
psycho, mama bad like Michael, da na na da na 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 na, ba ba da ba ba da 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 da. Like, however, whatever that song's called, it's like, man, my AP going psycho, little mama bad like Michael. Like that song, like keeps me like in a weird place. Like when I listen to it, it like I like jamming to it, but I'm also just like. Like it's a weird feeling song.
Oh yeah, I understand that. I got tons of weird feeling songs. Like Haley Steinfeld, "Love Myself," got me through my last heartbreak because I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna put my. Even though if you listen to the lyrics of that song, it's pretty much about like getting yourself off. I mean, in a sense, but it's just like it's such a great song. It's such a good song. Yeah.
The entire Waitress soundtrack for me takes me to a really good place, but it gives me my full spectrum of emotions. Mm-hmm. Like when I listen to it, like it because it's like my favorite musical, and I actually just saw today that they're discontinuing. Well, not discontinuing. The musical is being removed from Broadway, but I think there will still be tours and performances elsewhere. But like it's not going to be a Broadway show anymore, and it makes me kind of sad. But I'm glad that I got to experience it at the height of its like of its power, and like the soundtrack is still my favorite, and it's my favorite musical, and it's my favorite soundtrack because it means so much to me, and like all of the songs are very important to me, and so whenever I hear those songs, like A Soft Place to Land is one that has a very special place in my heart. I highly recommend listening to it sometime if you want, but it's really a good song when you put it into perspective of the show too. Like what?
I was just reminded because my friend made this stupid tweet like earlier today because of a stupid story I told. I'm not gonna tell it on podcast. It's just it's cringy early 20s Jordan, but it was like when Jaxblade Fitness flirts with white women, and it was wake me up inside, I can't wake up. Joke. Name's Tyrone. How you doing in this black guy talking to this white girl? Oh my god! It reminded me of a stupid story I told him, and now I just remember. I do love that song. That is such a great song.
Yes.
Oh my god,
dude.
Oh,
okay,
god.
What's a song that you listen to when you really want to feel sad?
There's so many.
Like you know that feeling when like you're crying and you're like, I want to cry more.
Hold on. I think I have it. I'm not gonna play it, but I need to find what it was. Because usually it is stolen. Because I'm like, oh god. Yeah. See, I replace my sadness with anger. So I listened to a lot of 3 Days Grace growing up. Okay. And then what was it? God, there's a great one here. I'm trying to find what one it was.
It's really changed for me over the years because there's some songs that I used to listen to when I wanted to feel that way, but now like they give me a different feeling. Like there was a song called "Letter to Me" by Brad Paisley. It's a country song because like I live in Alabama, of course.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Then a Texas one that like the landslide song.
Yeah. Dude, there's so many country songs that like I don't fucking care. I'll say it. They make me feel things, man. There's some good ass country songs, and there's a lot of nostalgia behind it because I was born and raised on this music, and like a lot of it will remind me like of my family and stuff like that. And so when I hear it, it elicits this very emotional response.
Oh yeah, see, I can't sing about it because it'll make me tear. Oh, you know what? Oh fuck, I know the exact song. Even though it makes me cry whenever I hear it. Is that Pizzicato 5 Baby Love Child? That the song, if you've ever seen the Futurama episode where Leela finds her parents And at the very end, and they play that dun 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 dun. Dun, dun. I don't know how to explain, but like there's this it's something that just makes me relate to the core. I'm like, oh my god, like this is really tearing me up, because it's like that trope always gets to me, like parents and kids. That one gets to me every time. So
I have to say, there's another soundtrack that like there's some songs on it that just consistently like get to me. The Undertale soundtrack, the song Home and like the Home extended, like all of the Home songs, I just listen to them casually sometimes or just whenever, but whenever I hear it, it just takes me to this very warm place.
Oh, like
it calms me down.
Like that song let's go to the garden, you'll find something waiting. That shit destroys me.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, this shit makes me cry.
But Home, like that Undertale song, like, oh my god, I can listen to it for hours and I'll just like still be entranced by it. Like, I don't know what he did, man. Yeah. But like there's songs on that soundtrack that just like they get me, and they don't even have lyrics. Lyrics are usually very important to me, but like I just understand when I listen to it, and it just takes me to that place. Like I think the Undertale soundtrack is my second favorite soundtrack of all time.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good. Also, Katy, talk to him for a second. I gotta go tinkle. Yes, people, you're hearing me. Go. Katy,
what happened?
You talk? I'm tinkling. I've got to go pee real quick. So talk to the people. Yes, this is a very
hello,
real
everyone.
thing. Yes.
We were in the middle of talking about songs, and one of my favorite songs is the Itsy Bitsy Spider. Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun, and the sun came out, and that's how the song goes, and he never swam again. That's the song. You're welcome. Thank you for coming to my live concert. There will be refreshments provided. You never get refreshments from me. Jordan, did you bring the popcorn?
What?
Well, aren't you getting the refreshments? I just did a live performance for them, and they need refreshments.
Okay, sure. I'll go get you some.
Yay!
I got some yellow liquid for your popcorn, and it's non-dairy.
Oh my god! I watched, no joke, the latest season of fucking It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and they made that exact joke in an episode that's it's a Charlie episode. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I got that from that Kung Pao Under the Fist movie with the cow. Yeah, like there's that thing, and then like they have an intermission where like my nipples look like milk duds, and the guy's like, "I've got some yellow liquid for your popcorn, and it's non-dairy." It's just like,
oh my god!
And the first thing that came to me, because I'm a fitness person, is like, you must be really dehydrated. Like, yeah, I do not remember when my pee has been yellow, besides in the first thing in the morning. Like my pee is always clear.
Aren't you special?
Yep, I am special.
You're hydrated looking ass.
I know, right? You know, I feel like a pizza today. Even though I should be getting lean, I should feel like a pizza.
You are.
Today is a pizza today.
You're worth it, Jordan.
I am worth it. You know what? I'm going to order a pizza after this podcast is done. Because
Hell
I
yeah.
uploaded a video last night. I worked out for an hour, and then I can take my back medication because my back hurts. I'm going to sleep on the floor tonight. And yeah, I'm going to order a pizza. But anyway, speaking of pizza, how do you avoid getting wrapped up in online arguments? This comes from our friend Marcus. And he asked, how do you avoid getting up and ramp? It just said that. I find myself constantly getting stuck trying to prove people wrong, and it ruins my day even if I win. I want to stop that. See, now this is something I can talk in depth about, because I used
Jordan
to be like this person.
Jordan gets into online arguments a lot.
Dude, I don't get in a lot of arguments. Okay, what I do is you got to look at it from the perspective of like, what are you doing? Is this going to matter? Like, why are you doing it? So, like, for example, let's say I say something like, you know, I think Goku is the greatest hero of all time. And someone's like, no, you're basic as frick.
You're
Naruto's
a fucking idiot.
Yeah, Naruto is the greatest anime hero of all time. Well, I say why you wouldn't have Naruto without Goku. Well, Goku is just lame, blah, blah, blah. And then you get into this little thing back and forth. And you don't know if it's like a friendly thing because you can't read their emotions. Like, you can't tell if like the person is taking this seriously or if you're joking. So sometimes it's just like, oh, I can't tell how with this person. So what you do is I have a very simple method. Like if someone says something I don't care for, but I'm like, okay, that's bait. That is clearly bait. Like, dude, you're a bitch. Like, you don't know this stuff. And it's just like, who the no, because like that's how you get in the rabbit hole. Like you start going like, well, what are you doing with your life? And it's just like, yeah, okay, well, don't go down that rabbit hole because you will fall down. Like, especially if you do these back and forth. Like the only time I ever like, because as Katy will notice, I did this like a couple days ago where I think I am right 100% is like for instance, someone was talking crap about Sakura and I was just like, well, someone clearly didn't read the fourth war arc, and that's what I said, and then I left it, and then it was just like, yeah, well, blah, 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 and it's just like, no, I brought up a point that ended the conversation. This is over. I'm not going to continue it. And so sometimes people will wrap you up like, what I notice is if someone says like a comment about you which has a little inkling of truth, then that irks you and makes you go, really, motherfucker, who are you? I'm about to, and it's just like, no, don't get wrapped up in it. Just mute and get on with your day. Or like if they're like a really like following you and block you, there's no shame in blocking someone who is like abusing their thing. Now this is where don't get it twisted now. Like some people will do this thing where they will start an argument and they'll end up losing, and then they'll play the victim and be like, oh well, fuck this, and then they like block, and it's just like, okay, well, dude, you kind of started the argument, and that kind of makes you look weak. But if you just like post something like, hey, you know, I really didn't care for this, whatever. It's like, wow, you're idiot. Your taste is shit. You don't know this. Well, I was just sharing my personal opinion. I didn't say anything negative. I'm not talking down to you at all. Well, I don't care. Your opinion is shit. Everything about you is shit. And you were just like, okay, well, I am not going to continue this because you clearly feel some type of way about this. So goodbye. And it's like, I knew you were a bitch. That's why you can't count it. It's just like, see, they're trying to get you. They're trying to, like, they got nothing going on in their life, and they're trying to bait you into rolling with it. It's like, yeah, no, I see this. I see what you're trying to do. Yeah, fuck off. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah, my main approach, because I don't get into a lot of stuff like that. I read a lot of arguments, though. Like, because whenever I see arguments come up, oh, you bet your ass, I'm in there.
I do too.
I'm lurking.
I'm like the beginning of Shrek.
I am reading everything, because I'm just like, because I'll see the argument and I'll be like, huh, well, here's a point that I would rebuttal with. And then I look down and I see, oh, someone rebutted it already. Well, I bet somebody said this, and then they do. And I'm like, oh, so I read through it and see if there's anything that I wouldn't say. You know? And like, and it also can depend on like if it's somebody with a big platform versus like, you know, because like if there's just like,
oh yeah, you mean like someone with like 50 followers versus someone with like 100,000 followers?
Because sometimes it might not matter. Like, like not that your opinion doesn't matter with your followers, but I'm just saying there's certain shit where if you're putting certain toxicities out there, don't bother engaging with it. Like, but there can be certain levels where certain shit can be said where it's like, well, maybe someone needs to say something, but there can be context. And most of the time, someone else is already doing it. Not that I'm saying the right mindset to do is, well, somebody else will do it. Like, because that's not always correct. But in most cases, when it comes to Twitter arguments, someone else is already arguing. So I typically go, the only times I have quote unquote started something before is, and it wasn't even really starting something, but like I saw like a tweet saying something, I can't even remember.
Was it like negative about someone, like something you're passionate about?
I think it was like something that was kind of like low-key sexist or something, but like it wasn't like, but I could tell that it was coming from kind of an ignorant, not understanding place, and it wasn't coming from like a fuck women, it wasn't coming from that place, but it came from a place that like, ooh, that's not a good look, and I understand what you're not understanding. And so instead of going like, wow, fuck you, I wrote maybe like 3 to 5 like well, I guess it was kind of like a paragraph. Yeah, I wrote kind of like 3 to 4 tweets responding, but I wrote it out first, kind of just being like, hey, here's the thing that you were saying. And while it is valid to think this, here is, I think, something that you are missing. And I hope that you can understand this perspective. And like I tried to, you know, frame it in a cheesy, like, actually, but not like a mean actually.
Well,
but like,
actually.
But like I tried to frame it in a way that was like, I just want you to hopefully understand this perspective. I'm not trying to say this or that. And they actually responded with like, oh wow, thank you so much for not.
See, those ones are good.
Like, Yeah, I've had a few of those happen. There have been situations where somebody has tweeted something at me to make me uncomfortable, or they've like done this or that, and I usually typically don't respond. But like cuz I've also gotten Instagram DMs where I will say I'm guilty of screenshotting one or two and sharing them, but not like I don't out them. I don't say who they are. If my life isn't in danger, etc. I don't necessarily want to like put them on blast and get people to go after them, but I will screenshot it and I'll block out their name and just be like, "Hey, if it's a situation where I think like I can make an example here to hopefully educate somebody, and also I just don't want to be quiet cuz I feel like this shit shouldn't be happening." And so I'll be like, "Hey, here's a thing that happened. I just want to let you know like why this isn't okay, and like I'm not gonna send people after him. I just want you to understand because this person might not get it." And so I try to be mindful in that sense, but I'm not perfect. I will read through arguments sometimes and I'll want to just be like, "Well, fuck you, this and this and this," and like, "Oh my god, you're so stupid," but I won't because I know that it's not gonna really help anything. It's honestly the situations that I do get more concerned about are when it's with people that you actually know. When it's people that you actually in real life know and they're doing some shit on Facebook and stuff, those are the more difficult situations to navigate because, like, if it's just a random Twitter argument, I can read through and learn all the perspectives all day, but sometimes there's situations where you feel more inclined to speak up, and I think I have spoken up in certain situations before like that, and it's hard to not just want to keep responding. But, like, I generally, when it gets to a certain place, my general thing is, like, I'm just going to stop. And if they keep trying to egg it on, I just don't. Unless they DM me, like, I'm not gonna keep going. And, like, and it's kind of okay to just, like, to remove yourself and just be like,
I don't know what the fuck just happened, and I don't really care. I'm gonna get the fuck up out of fuck this. I'm out. I love that.
Yeah. So that's kind of my approach.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
a little more passive.
You know what really annoys me? Like, I don't know, like, when you were talking about stuff, like, what annoys me is I hate when people say something like they, in a way where they're trying to, where it comes off like they think you're stupid or ignorant in a way they're trying to help. So, for example, you're just like, like, for instance, I was watching this video by this YouTuber called Rebecca Parham. Like, she does his animations on YouTube. She's really funny. Go check her out if you haven't already. But, like, she was talking about how, like, some people will like it's not that, oh, you think I'm stupid, but it's like people who think you're stupid but trying to help. So it's just like, oh, yo, I really need to get gas in my car, and it's just like, well, you can get gas at the gas station. It's just like, what the fuck do you mean by that? It's like, you can get gas at the gas station. Fuck you. Of course I know I can get fast. Well, the next thing you're gonna tell me is like, oh, I didn't know the secret to living a long-lasting life was breathing. Wow, it's just like, okay, God, it's just, I hate shit like that.
Yeah,
or like
I know
when
what you're talking about.
Yeah, or like when you like say like, oh, you like Star Wars? Oh, what's your favorite movie? It's just like, oh yeah, BB-8 and freaking Rey are freaking awesome. Well, there are other Star Wars movies. I didn't say there wasn't. I just said that.
Yeah,
what
those people like yeah, I've definitely gotten responses to things where it's like, I can't tell what is happening here.
Yeah,
for example, there was a tweet that was put out a while back about like what's that show, Hunter x Hunter and Naruto or something, and and I think I was just casually just joking about like, oh my gosh, like Naruto low-key stole some shit from like Hunter x Hunter, and somebody commented, well, actually Naruto came out first, and I was like confused because I was just like, how do you possibly think that? If you go to Google, the manga for Hunter x Hunter came out 1 year before Naruto. And so I just commented, but I didn't say like, well, you dumb bitch. I just like kind of linked them like, actually, the manga came out 1 year earlier, although the anime, I believe, for Naruto, at least the one that's more popularized, did come out before the newest edition of Hunter x Hunter. So I think I understood where it was coming from, but I was just so confused and baffled at how they could so confidently say something so wrong.
Yeah, so are you the type to like correct someone? Because like this was actually on an episode of Always Open where like Barb was talking about this. Like she was talking about how like someone was saying like,
it depends.
Well, I know like if someone comes up to you and you're like, well, yeah, I love The Mask. I love how Jim Carrey was in The Mask. Jim Carrey wasn't in The Mask. What are you talking about? What? No, that was Robin Williams. No, I've seen the movie like 58 times. It was Robin Williams who was The Mask. Do you just let them like be an idiot? Because Lindsay was like, well, I'll just let them be an idiot. Well, then, and just say that to the wrong person. Or like, do you just like go, no, I'm pulling it up my phone, you are wrong.
Like moments like that, I try to de-escalate, but like sometimes I'll de-escalate but also give them correct information. And if they insist after the correct information has been given, like I don't do it with malice. I don't go like, haha, here's the right answer, bitch. I just kind of like, I just go like, Link, here you go, here's a learn how to
all
read.
This shit.
And then if they're still being a bitch, then it's like, okay, you're just trying to make me mad, so I'm
not
going to respond.
I am so grateful. Well, I guess it is not like that Darth Vader's force choke powers do not exist, because I realized I would choke so many motherfuckers. Really, you want to keep doing this? Do you really want to keep doing this?
It sucks too when it happens like with people that you know. Like for example, there was a post I made on Facebook not too long ago about something. It was just kind of like, oh man, and it was actually something I was just casually really excited about. Like, oh man, I can't wait to go to this con because they're doing this thing. I'm really excited.
Why would you go to the con? It sucks.
I'm really excited for this particular thing they're doing at this con, and because this is what the thing is, and I can't remember what it was, but somebody responded like, well, you do know that thing is only like this, right? And they were completely wrong because they clearly hadn't read the page describing what the event was. And I was like, oh, well, no, it's just, I'm just looking forward to having a good time about this. But the way they had responded was very like, you fucking idiot. Like, do you
I hate people. Like, I hate people.
Why are you unnecessarily making this mean? Like, because all I put out there was, hey, I'm really excited about this event. And it wasn't like anything political or anything. It wasn't anything like controversial. It was just like a silly costume thing or something. Like it was just like a silly like, oh, I'm looking forward to seeing this costume thing. No, it's not a tweet. It was on my Facebook page.
Is this Facebook shit still up? I'm gonna go say some shit.
Well, no, don't say it.
I'm gonna go.
It passed.
I'm gonna go curses.
Oh
That'd be great.
But like, they just low key were just kind of like, well, actually, that's just like for this and stuff. And I'm just like, why'd you have to be so mean? Like, I was just saying I'm excited to go to this costume thing. Like, it just looks really fun.
To me, those are the ones. It's just like, all right, I don't give a shit who you are. Oh yeah, some Facebook acted up and erased you from my profile. Oh well.
Like when people are like unnecessarily mean.
Yeah, like people like
that's the stuff that gets me.
That pisses me off so much. Like if someone's just looking forward to something, like, yeah, I can't wait for this. Why? It's gonna be shit. And it's just like, did I say anything? Like there are people out there, again, super excited for the new Lion King movie. I'm indifferent to it just cause, but it's just like, why are you being a fucking cunt to them? And just like, this shit irritates me so much. Like, it's just like, no, that because one of the things that really pisses me off about people is people who take their personal bad days out on other people who have nothing to do with it. Like people, because I used to be that sort of way where I like, oh, why are you happy? I'm not happy, so why? It's just like, no, fuck that. Like that shit irritates me, and I will call someone out on that crap. And like, no, you were being a weak.
But I will say, I am okay if people like. I am in the camp of like, you can love something but also have things that you do not like about it. Like, cause when somebody says like, well, if you don't like it, why are you complaining about it? I disagree with that mindset. I think that if you love something, obviously there's going to be things that you nitpick because you love it so much.
Exactly. It's like
you're paying really
thank you so much.
To it.
Thank you so much, Katie. Like, you were bringing up a valid point. Because to me, my argument is always this, like, okay, it's like if I had a kid, right? And I love my kid. And then I find out my kid, it went from getting A's and B's to getting C's and D's. And so, like, I'd be concerned as a parent if I care about them. If I didn't care about them, I'd be letting them go to, like, their bullshit. Or another way is like, let's say I love a restaurant and this restaurant gives me like a delicious burger, and I go in and I know that they're going to make this delicious burger, but then I go in like a few other times, the quality of it starts to decrease, and it's not the thing I used to love, and it's just like, well, I'm not going to just not mention it because I'm noticing the decrease. It's just like, it's just, shut the fuck up.
It's because you care about that place. And there can be times where it's like, there's certain things that somebody might be saying where it's like, okay, do you actually love the show? But there are most of the time, if somebody's saying like, oh man, I really love that episode, but this thing I think went wrong. If your first reaction is to say, wow, I guess you just don't like the show if you don't like everything about it. Like, yeah, fuck those people. Like, let us have our things. Like, we're not trying to come over and say that you're not allowed to like it. We're just saying, hey, I didn't like that part. And, like, here's why. And if you want to start a discussion on, well, actually, here's why I like that part, that's okay. Like, we can do that. But, like, don't automatically make it, well, I guess you're not as good a fan as me. Like,
yo, I hate people.
Yeah.
I will just be like, because I realize, like, those type of people, if old me would have choked the fuck out. So I have to literally leave. I have to literally go, okay, mute, get away, stress ball. All right,
stress ball.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm good. But yeah. But speaking of obsessions.
Oh, yeah, let's get to our last question here. This is just a fun little cute one that I think we'll both have some really fun answers for. What is something you have both been obsessed with lately? And, you know, I know what Jordan's is, so I'm just going to start with mine. Fucking gummy bears.
What, you got those freaking
I love
ones?
gummy bears, okay? They're delicious and yummy, and gummies are underrated. No, I didn't.
Dude, you should get one of those giant ones and do a mukbang eating and see how much you can get.
Oh my god. No, but I really like when they're all tiny and they're different flavors. Like, I don't want to eat a giant cherry one. I like mixing the flavors, you know, like cherry and pineapple. Like, like I did a stream the other day, funny enough, of me playing Stardew Valley and eating, just like casually eating gummy bears, and I was like, "What's up, bitches? I'm eating gummy bears." And like I got 9 people in like 2 minutes, like, and I was just chilling eating gummy bears, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" And then I played Stardew Valley and it went down to like 3 viewers, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
Have you gotten those special ones from Amazon yet?
No? What special gummy bears?
The sugarless ones.
No, that sounds disgusting and wrong.
Oh, okay, good. You stay away from those ones. Oh, so you have? Are you joking? Like, have you actually heard of this?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so if you go on Amazon,
are they drugs or something?
No. They're these Haribo sugarless gummy bear drugs. I mean, not drugs, but I mean, like, they're these gummy bears, right? And so what people do is they were getting a handful of them. And so what they started to notice was there is a pattern between people who consume them. And so these people started writing these very detailed explanations of what perspired to them and how like it completely just wrecked their stomach and gave them the worst shit ever of their life. So like what happened is basically a lot of people like ate them and they're like, oh, I just thought this was like a sugar-free thing. But it turned out to be like the most extreme laxative effect ever. And so if you go on Amazon, you can read the reviews that people had when they got them and they didn't realize what they were. And they were talking about like, I didn't realize that the pain began and I was sweating. And I was at my child's concert. The sweating began profusely and I had no idea what was going on. I had to rush to the bathroom where I completely did not make it in time and I destroyed the floor. And it's just like, wow, dude. And then so many people started buying these gummy bears just as a challenge and they just destroy your stomach. Like, they're called Haribo sugarless. Dude, audience, don't be one of those freaking kids who goes and buy it because they will mess up your stomach. But it's one of those things where if you go on Amazon and read up the reviews, they are hysterical because there's like times where it's just like, yeah, me and my wife got them because we were trying to go on a diet, but we still love gummy bears. She ran to the bathroom. I didn't think much of it. And then like I started to sweat really badly and I was like, what's going on? And then I noticed what was dripping on the floor and I didn't even notice that the leaking had begun. And it's just like, oh my God. So
dude, so I guess if like you have like a stomach bug and you just need to like shit everything out of you, I guess get the gummy bears.
Yeah, dude, they will empty you out. They will clean out your system.
Well, shit. But no, I'm not condoning these gummy bears. I'm not
don't do it.
Regular ass gummy bears are really fucking delicious though.
That would be an evil prank. I know you love gummy bears.
No, I'm not accepting any gummy bears that are not prepackaged for you.
It's just like, why do these taste a bit funny? Oh no, they're don't worry, they're the same. They're just from England.
Special gummy bears.
Yeah. Oh
wow.
God.
Well, what are you obsessed with, Jordan? Since I have no idea.
I love Dan Blue and Kilometero. The second episode just came out last week. 3rd episode is coming out tomorrow. I love this series. You know what I've realized? I was telling Katy about this. This goes back to a previous episode. So much joy in my body makes me not care about other bodily functions, and I'm just like, I don't care. I really don't care. Like I noticed this. Like when I first watched the episode, I was so like euphorically happy, like Cloud 9000, that I hadn't been that happy in a long time. That's all I'll say, a long time. That like there are certain things I just didn't care for. Like someone sent me like some really great boob pics of like these characters I like, and I was just like, oh, that's nice, but I wasn't like aroused or anything. I was just like, yeah, I'm on cloud 9 of happiness and joy. All I care about is this right now, and sharing it with a bunch of people so they see that this show I love is finally animated. And that's how I've been. It's like every episode so far has given me this joy of like, I am ecstatic. I am ecstatic as hell. Just my girl Hibiki is finally animated, and Akemi's there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yako is in the last episode, and my boy Machio's coming, and then Saitome Bay's going in the next episode, so that's gonna be great. And then freaking Zena's gonna shine. I get so happy and joyous
Jordan,
talking about it. Yes.
If there is one thing that someone who has no idea what the fuck you're talking about, if there's one thing you want to tell them that would make them want to watch this show, what would it be?
It'll make you cute girls who make you want to work out. Cute girls make you want to work out. That's the best way. Also, then they're very relatable. Like the thing is, when I first got into it, I was one of those guys who's like, oh, titties and lifting. But then when I watched it, I was like, I actually genuinely love this. I love the story they're going through. I love the explanations. It's so great. And I think this show it is my favorite anime of all time. Like I'm sorry, Dragon Ball, you've been my favorite for the last 2 decades, but you're below there now. Like it's my favorite just for the comedy, the action, the lifting. I love it. I love it so much.
Yes.
It makes me happy. It makes me genuinely happy. And that's a big deal for me.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm so happy that it makes you happy. So I like gummy bears. You like lifting dumbbells.
How heavy are the dumbbells you lifting? What we need to shorten that name. What should we call it, Katie? Let's do that right now. How heavy are the dumbbells you lift? So like with Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, that was just called Dragon Maid, and that's easy.
Dumbbells.
Just dumbbell?
Because we always say danbaru, which means dumbbells. So
I guess so.
Dumbbells.
Just call it dumbbell. But then,
oh my God. I mean, and it could be like a play on words like dumbbells.
Oh, dumbbells, but they're not dumb. They're actually really
you're right. They're smart, independent, beautiful women.
Exactly.
Okay, so the dumbbells you lift, but dumbbells is kind of the.
How heavy are the dumbbells you lift? I guess we could call it just dumbbell. I guess.
How about dumbbells you lift?
Dumbbells you lift, and I feel like there's a way to do it, like oh God, oh my God, I feel like we can think of I guess dumbbells. Well, heavy dumbbells. Do you watch that Heavy Dumbbells anime? Do you watch the Dumbbells anime? Do you watch the Dumbbell anime? Yeah, okay, I think we got it. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we got it. Dumbbell non-kilo.
Yeah.
Dumbbell non-kilo. There we go. Perfect.
There we go.
All right.
So, I think that's a pretty good place to end today's episode.
Yeah, where can they find you, Katie?
You can find me at KaniDay Official on Twitter and on Instagram. You can find me on KaniDay on YouTube and KaniDay Cosplay on Facebook. You can also find me with Kruby Productions, KRWBY Productions. We just recently did a video where we kind of recapped RTX, and we have another fun video about RTX coming out soon, and we might have a few. And then, of course, Dr. Crafty, you can find me there. We have, we're getting pretty close to the end of this season, and we're also going to be doing a lot of more fun, exciting stuff soon. Please go check us out. And where can they find you, Jordan?
Jaxblade Fitness on Twitter, Jaxblade on YouTube, Jaxblade on Instagram, Jordan Jaxblade Downs on Facebook, Jaxblade everywhere else, and that's where you can find me. Be sure to tune in tomorrow because I'll have a new episode of Trainers React, my series I've been doing for Don Balloon and Matero. And yeah, it's gonna be sick and awesome.
Well, heck yeah. Jordan, give the people some words of wisdom before we sign off.
Don't tell people your plans, show them your results.
Heck yeah. And eat lots of gummy bears, but never eat anything sugar-free because it's a trap. It's a conspiracy. Yeah. Area 51 is hiding all the sugar.
Area 51 is hiding all the sugar.
Bye.
Bye, Nene.
I'm going to eat all the sugar.
No, you're not.
Area 51 can't hold me back. All the Kyles are going to eat it. Oh, damn it. You might be right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Bye, Nene. Stop.